expert in your Are you an expert in your field, or do you provide professional services and consultation? Do you have knowledge that someone would be willing to pay for? Do you know how to monetize that knowledge and turn? Are you an expert in your field, or do you provide professional services and Are you an expert in your field, or do you provide professional services and consultation?
My name is Temitope Oluwatosin Akinsami. I'm a user researcher for the Join Momentum. My experience with Join Momentum has really been a great influence on my personality, in that he has helped me understand the tech world, which I thought I couldn't get into because I didn't study anything that had to do with tech. Even though I love the tech world, even though I had worked with different teams where I was working before in Nigeria, but because I never had the educational background, I thought it was a limitation for me. And then I got to meet Victor, and I learned that there was no limitation as long as you are willing to work hard. My experience has been wonderful. Have met different people, have linked up with people personally, inside and outside, and it's really opened my eyes to the different aspects of the project. I have worked with the design team, I've worked with the media team, I've worked with different kinds of people, and it's been an experience that I would really not have loved to miss. So I am happy. I have a group of people who work together like a family. It's a close-knit family, and I have been able to learn from them. I've been able to use tools that I never thought. People have come online to give us training on how to even understand an aspect that had nothing to do with what I am doing right now. I've learned really a lot from the teams, from the different delivery teams. A typical day starts with the daily stand-up, which is for like 15 minutes, in which everybody gives an update on what they've done yesterday, what they are doing today, and if they have any blockers, and if there's any need for someone to support them in one way or the other. Then you go into your own personal assigned task, or if you have any meetings where you have to meet to discuss what you have to do. There's meetings, but sometimes the meetings are no more than 30 minutes or 1 hour. And then you get to do your own personal deliverables, and you get to work with different teams. You can have a meeting with the design team, it could be with the media team, and based on the task that has been assigned to you, your day will go based on that task every day. What advice would I give? I will tell you that you're in a very good place. You're with a very good team, a family that would train you, that would give you tasks that would challenge you, that would put you in a place where you would learn every day. It's not just about the papers. It's about the training, the experience you get, the people you meet, the things you're exposed to, the level of your understanding of these tech words that looked so difficult before you got on the team. You get to learn, you get to meet different people from different aspects of the world. Yes, people in Africa, different people in Europe. You get to make friends, and then of course you get to meet outside, and you also get to learn from everybody's personal life. So It's a great place. It's not a place, forget what it costs, but everything in life will cost you something. But it's really an experience you don't want to miss. I wish you all the best. Welcome to the Joy Momentum team. Thank you.
Are you an expert in your field, or do you provide professional services and consultation? Do you have knowledge that someone would be willing to pay for? Do you know how to monetize that knowledge and turn it into a sustainable online business? You're not alone. Many professionals find it challenging to create a profitable online business around their expertise. But now, there's a solution. Subscribe to the Kashmir Skills Consultation App waitlist and download the Knowledge Monetization Toolkit packed with practical strategies and real-world examples that will help you monetize your skills, knowledge, and create a sustainable online income. Whether you're a coach, consultant, author, speaker, teacher, or any other type of expert, this ebook will give you the tools and guidance you need to succeed. Don't wait any longer to monetize your knowledge. Join our waitlist now and take the first step towards creating a sustainable online income. Visit www.cashmyskills.com.
My name is Stanley Ehiemere. My IT professional title is Business Analyst / Data Analyst. I got to know Joy Momentum from my wife. She came across Joy Momentum from her Instagram page and introduced it to me. My interest in transitioning from a marketing background to a technology background is what made me join. Of course, the world is going tech, so I decided that I could give this challenge a try. The impact has been amazing. It has given me another face to life. It's like a paradigm shift from being a marketing person to now a technology person. The impact is huge. Anybody who looks at my LinkedIn page now can see that there's traffic. Even on my CV, my paper CV, there is traffic. A lot of things are happening because of this transition and this program with Joy Momentum. With Joy Momentum, it's a place where from the very first week you join, after you get onboarded, the next thing is for you to join a project team, a live project team. It's not a place where you fold your arm and every other person is. You run as they are running. And so one of the projects I first got on was Cash My Skills project, which is a very wonderful project. I worked with lovely colleagues. That project was basically to develop a platform for content creators, digital writers, and everyone who is a techpreneur. That's the project I got on. I worked on that project as a BA, business analyst, and it was an eye-opener because that was my very first project as one who just transitioned into tech, and it was quite interesting. It was challenging. It was insightful. I learned a lot when it comes to collaboration, communication, when it comes to working the agile way, having daily scrums, reporting on tasks as they go on, So it was quite a very good one from Joy Momentum, working on that project. The next project I got on was the Ingenious project, which was happened to be my second project. Another beautiful project, working on a job simulation platform where job seekers could have a first-hand experience of what the job role looks like. People immigrant transition down to the UK. They come down to the UK, and the very first thing that hits them is, where do we get experience, job experience, the UK job experience? This is what Joy Momentum is building into their Ingenious platform, where there's a simulation platform for you to now begin to learn firsthand how the job market works here in the UK, and it gives you that level of experience. It gives you references that you want from the potential employers when they ask for reference, because you have gone through this process, the job simulation process and all of that. You can easily get reference, from there. And of course, you have experience already, first-hand experience as to what that job entails. So that's what the Ingenious project is about. Yeah, those are the two projects that I have worked on with Join Momentum, and they are amazing. The expectation I have at the onset, quite a lot have been met, really. I won't take that away from Join Momentum. I mean, someone who just transitioned into tech, and the very first, second, third week, you are working on projects which you've not done before, and most of these things I did remotely. And that's another aspect of work in the UK that you need to learn, how to work remotely. 85%, if not 90% of my expectation have been met. And evidence that they have been met is the fact that my work at Join Momentum has helped me into getting opportunities in companies where I never thought I could step into. I mean, if I've gotten this much from Join Momentum, if Join Momentum has helped me to open the door to Tesco Bank, if I might mention it, because that is where I work now, and because of what I had on my CV, haven't gotten from the experience with Join Momentum, and I'm working now with Tesco Bank. I mean, what's stopping you from joining the program? If you're still thinking, then you are wrong. If you're still working, then you are wrong. You need to run into Join Momentum. That is where all that is called tech is happening. That is where the next big thing is happening when it comes to gaining technology experience. And when it comes to training, I'm not sure they have rivals. They won't train you like others train you. It's like training you and letting you train yourself on the job. You understand? Because you have guys, you have ladies who know what it means to work in the agile way. You have guys who understand what it means to impart knowledge onto somebody, guys who have done it and done it time and time again. And I mean, it's a place where you be yourself. Flexibility is second to none at Join Momentum. And I see what I call a human library at Join Momentum. And that is the fact that you share your concerns in an open and transparent manner, and they listen. That is the beauty, of joining Join Momentum. If there's one word I could use to describe my experience with Join Momentum, it will be excellence. If you want to get value for money, if you want to see where work is done professionally, please come to Join Momentum. I'm almost like pleading with you to come and succeed at Join Momentum, because those who have joined, I have succeeded. And I'm telling you that Join Momentum has been like the key to open my door to the tech world, because they want me to succeed. Thank you for this time. Thank you, Join Momentum.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Hello. If you can hear me, I'm going to check on social media just to be sure that everyone can hear me, because this is important. Let me see who is online. I'm going to look at the comments. Okay, fantastic. I can see comments coming through. Thank you. There's a comment there from Clara. Clara is amazing. She's one of our delivery managers and Scrum Masters. Thank you. You can hear me. Fantastic. Join Momentum is certainly a great place to learn by doing, a great way to acquire skills needed to upskill and to pivot into the world of tech. 100%. Thank you for that. I was posting on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, by the way, today. I'm not struggling. I tried to fix it before joining, just to be sure that I don't have to start flickering with my phone. So I'm so happy to be here. Listen, there's a lot I want to talk about tonight. So you are going to have to follow me, and please feel free to stop me and ask questions. Stop me and ask questions as I go along the way, because I will try my best to stop in between and try and cover a few things, or maybe dive a bit more into some detail. But given the time that I have been allocated tonight and the things I want to talk about, I think I might have to skip quite a bit, but I'll do my best. If it means that I have to come back again, or we have to do it again, that's fine. Okay, so if I don't finish, probably come back again in a fortnight, as my tradition has been, and I'm happy that I've been able to sort of keep this consistent at least. So happy to be here. Tonight, I want to talk about something super interesting. For those who have been maybe following my conversations or this live audience series for the last 2, 3, 4, I don't know, maybe there's a 4th episode, I think. The last 2, 3 episodes, you probably realize I've been talking a lot about the business of immigration. I am not an immigration consultant, just to be very clear. I am a product consultant. So, and what that means is if I see a problem, my mind is thinking of creating a product that will solve that problem. Does that make sense? So I have found a huge problem, especially when it comes to immigration. I'm an immigrant in the United Kingdom as well, and I have a lot of people like myself who have been affected in so many ways by a lack of, for example, clarity, lack of understanding, people spending money that they could maybe save instead of spending the money, things that I think that simplifying some of this information can save so many people a lot of stress. And that is why I've been talking about this in the last 2, 3 episodes. So tonight, I'm super excited to bring to you another topic, which is super interesting. Tonight, I'll be talking about exploring UK business immigration. So I'll be sharing some tips with you tonight in terms of how to acquire or what to do in terms of getting self-sponsorship work visa. That is via the tier 2, the ability for you to sponsor yourself as an entrepreneur, as a business person, to be able to work and live in the UK, including your dependents, just to be clear, okay? Including your dependents. So let's get into it. I would appreciate if you have any questions. I want to answer. Many people have been sending me messages. I've been answering DMs on my WhatsApp and also on my Instagram about global talent visa. I will touch on global talent visa as well tonight a little bit. But if you have any questions, please post them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Okay. So let's get into it. What I want to talk about tonight is super interesting because like a month ago, we released a program, an online course program titled Roadmap to Global Talent Visa in the UK. And it's been a very amazing experience because many people who have before now been confused or not sure whether they are able to secure an endorsement, I think we are achieving what we want to achieve because now many people have the clarity that they seek, the clarity that they require. And that is what that product aims to achieve, to provide clarity by simplifying the requirement, the step-by-step process that can help anybody who wants to work and live in the UK, whether you're already in the UK or you want to switch your visa and you want to switch your visa category, or you are abroad, you're trying to come into the UK to work and live. and you're looking at what options are available to you, the roadmap to the Global Talent Visa is definitely one to consider. But tonight, we have just released another one, and this one is called the UK Business Immigration Self-Sponsorship Visa Roadmap. So it's kind of similar objective, but a different category of visa, just to be clear. So I'm going to be talking about that tonight in a moment. For those who have already joined the WhatsApp group, or you are already you already bought the, what's it called? The Global Talent Roadmap. If you want to acquire this one, send me a DM. You get a massive discount to be able to get this one as well. If you want to do like a comparison between, or should I do the Global Talent, or should I go for the self-sponsorship route? So we're talking about that in a moment. But in order to, I think I have some talking points tonight to go through, and which is why I said I would kind of just go through my talking points very, very quickly. The first thing I want to talk about is Brexit. And I am speaking tonight to people who are entrepreneurs or aspiring founders or business owners. If you are a business owner, or you want to own a business, or you already own a business and you want to move your business into the United Kingdom, this is for you, right? You have the capacity and the ability to be able to move and settle and work and live in the UK on the basis of your business as an entrepreneur. Okay, so that's the premise of my conversation tonight. If you have a question, again, put it in the chat. The first thing is Brexit has reshaped the landscape of business immigration. So it's creating opportunities for and challenges, of course, for non-EU entrepreneurs and investors like myself. Okay, so people who are not European Union entrepreneurs and investors, because of Brexit, of course, the fact that the United Kingdom has moved out of the European Union, what has happened, that has affected, of course, the UK's attractiveness. Okay, the end of the free movement, of course, has affected the UK's attractiveness to international business talent. Okay, so you can see some changes to the immigration policies that the UK is trying to implement to make sure that they remain attractive to international business talent. In fact, I'm going to be showing you some statistics tonight just to back up my point. The second point is the Global Talent Visa, for example, is one of UK's secret weapon in attracting world-class entrepreneurs and innovators into the UK. Yes, the Global Talent Visa is a very good pathway for those who are trying to work and live in the UK. I know that there are other visa routes. I'm not focusing on those. I'm focusing specifically on the Global Talent Visa. In order to secure, and for you to secure a recommendation and get an endorsement, and of course, get a visa. So because of Brexit, for example, you see that a lot of policy changes that the UK government are making is creating opportunities to remain attractive to international business talent and entrepreneurs and founders and innovators. In fact, let me put it this way, you'll see, as my stats will show in a moment, especially Africans. Especially Africans. Now, the other path which I'm talking about today is the self-sponsorship via Tier 2 General Visa. This is basically setting up a UK company. Then you go through the labor market test, and then you basically use that UK market test to provide an opportunity for your company to sponsor you as an employee of your business. So I will explain it again. I'll explain that. So self-sponsorship is this. I am a business owner. I have a startup, or I have a social enterprise, whatever, and then I decide to set up my business in the United Kingdom. So you register your company, it's 15 quid or 16 quid on Companies House, and your company becomes a legal entity in the United Kingdom. Okay. Now, in order for your company to be able to sponsor you as an employee of your company, there are certain things that need to be in place. Without going into too much detail and the nitty-gritty, the details are within the course I mentioned. But without going into too much detail, what I would say is essentially this is a tier 2 general visa approach. However, what it means is that your company becomes the sponsor, your sponsor, quote unquote, right? So the company that you set up will acquire the what's it called, the skilled worker visa license, right? There's a process, of course, legally that your company has to abide by. For example, you need to be registered, you need to have like PAYE reference numbers, you need to have like your VAT reference if required, you need to have a UK representative to represent you, potentially somebody that is vast and somebody that understands your business, or somebody that is involved, or maybe even a director in your business. They need to be a British citizen, a UK citizen, and they need to represent you because they are the ones that represent your application when you apply for the skilled worker visa license to the Home Office. Okay, so when you make this application, once you are granted the application, then you, as the director of your company, then as an employee, because as a director, as the owner of the business, you can also be an employee of the business, yes? And then you get sponsored, of course, with your dependents to come under yourself and that's what self-sponsorship is, quote unquote. So it's a very accessible path, a bit tricky, requires, I would recommend strongly, I'll go to my recommendations in a minute, but it's important that you consider this as a pathway along with the global talent visa option. Okay, all right. Now, something that a lot of people don't know, I'm an entrepreneur, and if you're a business person, it is important for you to know this fact that immigrant entrepreneurs are a boon to the UK economy. Okay, and I have statistics to back this up. As an immigrant entrepreneur, a business owner, a consultant, a digital entrepreneur, whatever it is you're doing, we are a boon to the economy. All right. So setting up a UK company and growing the UK economy is super important, especially, like I said, since the impact of COVID. Now let me show you some of my stats very quickly on this one. If you look at this, I don't know if you put, let me see if I can make this full screen. Yeah, okay, there you go. So it sees while under 15% of UK residents are foreign born, right? 39% of the UK's fastest growing startups have at least one immigrant co-founder. All right, that's a fact. 14.5% of the UK population is foreign born, yes, yet, like I said, 39% of the top 100, you have a foreign born founder. Now look at this one. Foreign born in 2019, top 100% by region, right? So you can see that Europe with 2019 was huge, 55%. And then there's a comparison between 2019 and 2023, right? You probably see here that Europe dropped from 55 to 53%. North America increased from between 2019 and 2023 from 19%, actually decreased, sorry, from 19% to 17%. Now let's look at this, look at the interesting part, right? Oceania decreased from 8% to 5% between 2019 and 2023. All right. Now look at this. Africa was 1% in 2019, and between 2019 and 2023, Africa is 4%. Right. So what I'm saying in essence is that you need to know this fact, and you need to, don't think that the fact that you are bringing your business into the UK economy, maybe you are at a disadvantage. You're not doing yourself a favor, or whatever it is, kind of mentality people have. I'm bringing this fact out bringing it to the surface to make it very, very clear that you are at an advantage. You're doing the UK economy a lot of good by bringing your business into the UK economy, by registering your company here. And even, yes, the company is going to sponsor you if you want to go by the self-sponsorship route, or you want to go by the, by the tier two route. But it's important to be clear that as you are doing this, you are actually doing the UK economy a lot of good. Okay, doing UK economy a lot of good. So look at this, and this is important. You begin to see, as in the last couple of months, you have seen a lot of changes in the UK immigration policies around healthcare workers, social care workers, even students. In fact, I was reading some stats yesterday that about 15 universities are even like almost closing shop and shutting down because there's a huge drop of students coming into the UK because now they're not allowed to bring in their dependents. All right. Now, the point I'm making is this. The business immigration future policies will begin to reflect things like, for example, the post-pandemic changes that the UK economy has been making, the post-Brexit immigration policies they're making. The UK will continue, and they must continue to innovate their business immigration policies to stay competitive in the global talent market. This is super important. And I'm sure that, politics, whatever aside, it is important that the UK remain attractive to global talent, to innovative talent all over the world. And this is becoming super interesting because a lot of other international countries, they are already catching on to it. They're attracting talent. For example, I know Canada, they're trying to replace a lot of their retiring baby boomer talent, right? The same thing, Germany is creating immigration-friendly policies to attract talent to Germany, right? So the UK will begin to also bring things like new changes in policy, such as, for example, the digital nomad visas and so many other types of visas that, in fact, the innovator visa is still a route that maybe I'll probably talk about that another time. But it is important that you know that as you are making this transition yourself, the UK is also going to be making sure that they remain ahead of the curve. And that is by the kind of policies that they bring out, by the policy changes they make. And they must innovate with their business immigration policy. It is super, super important and very, very critical. So how does all of this I've been saying, how does this affect me? How does it affect you? How do you, if you find yourself in a position where you want to, you are trying to make these changes, or you're trying to transition, and you're trying to find yourself on the, the right positioning. Positioning is very important. As with everything else, you have to be well positioned to take advantage of all these things I've been talking about. Number one, is important for you to understand the visa requirements and the process. Whichever one you're going for, make sure you're considering the best route. Whether it is skilled worker visa, whether it is global talent visa, whether it is self-sponsorship, whether it's innovator, whatever it is you're looking for, do a pros and cons analysis of which one is the best option for you, right? It's super important because if you don't do that, you might actually be, you might not be doing yourself a lot of good. And the second thing is for you, especially for people who are considering the self-sponsorship route. If you want to set up a business in the UK as a way to establish your business and also work and live and get yourself a visa, you need a robust business plan. There is no magic about it. It's important that you have a business plan. For example, you need a solid, viable, scalable business idea. In fact, I'll make an announcement towards the end. Let me not get too ahead of myself. There's an announcement towards the end. If in case you're not going to get to the end of it, I'm hosting a free workshop for digital entrepreneurs and product managers on the 11th of April. So just if you're one of those people who you want to set up a business in the UK, maybe you've done business before, or you're new to business, or even you are in business already, but you need some sort of clarity and direction as to how to solidify your business idea, or how to launch, or how to bring your idea to life, whatever it is, please register for the workshop. I'm going to share the link in a moment. But again, you need a robust business plan. Whatever it is you need to do, you need a robust business plan. My next point here is for those who are seeking global talent visa, or whether you're doing what's it called? The other one, the self-sponsorship one I'm talking about tonight, you need to consider time. Give yourself time. If you're seeking endorsement, seek your endorsement very early. The reason is this: number one, you might be rejected the first time. I've seen stories, I've heard stories of people who maybe in fact, when we had a live workshop with Dimeji the other day, he mentioned that the first time he was rejected, even though he was pretty much overqualified for the endorsement, right? But he applied on time. He wasn't under pressure, and that allowed him to be able to go back again and put in another application. Does that make sense? So do it early. The other thing I want to say about being early and being on time is, if, for example, let's paint a scenario here. If you're on a visa that is maybe I don't know, let's say you're on a student visa, or you are on a post-study work visa. You get 2 years on that, don't you? You have 2 years on your post-study work visa. What do you do with those 2 years? 2 years is more than enough for you to have clarity to plan and execute your plan. 2 years is way more than enough, whether it's global talent you want to do, whether it's sponsorship you want to do. Honestly, 2 years is more than enough to achieve either of those two. If you have a better plan and if you have foresight and you can put in the work, you can achieve either of those, or any option within 2 years, right? And let me give you a scenario. You're on a post-study work visa now. You have 24 months or 18 months, wherever it is, on that visa, right? Or you're on student visa. You have not even crossed into your post-study work visa, and you want to, you don't want to, maybe you don't want to even cross into that post-study work visa. Then you need to start making plans, right? If it is to build your profile to a point where you know that when you put in for an endorsement, you will get it, then start doing the work that will position you for an endorsement, right? If you are trying to get into global talent via tech, what's important is you need some technical abilities, you need some product-led idea or initiative or profile or experience. Then put yourself in a place where you will get product-led experience. It's not rocket science, right? So find yourself in a place like Job Momentum. Let me put it very straight to you. In a place like Job Momentum, yeah, you can get all that knowledge. You can get all that exposure. And I'm so excited now because we're even bringing in our business accelerator, which means that if you even have a business idea, we can help you bring that business idea to life in good time. So what will be your excuse? Yeah, there are things you can do, like secure awards, get awards, get publications, write articles. All those things come with your job in Job Mentor. We do some of those for you as well, right? So plan yourself early. Anyway, that's all I'm trying to say. Give yourself time. Then if you give yourself time, you will have enough time to showcase your unique value proposition. Whether you're setting up a business and you want your business to make impact and you want your business to be known, or whatever it is you need to do, it's important that whichever way you go, the profile that you build needs to demonstrate your unique value proposition. What do you bring? What are you bringing to the table? Right? How would the UK benefit from you becoming a global talent endorsee or whatever awardee? Right? What are you bringing to the table? What problem is your business going to be solving in the United Kingdom? Right? Whichever way you look at it, you need to build yourself up to show and demonstrate what makes you unique, what makes you stand out. Okay? What makes that out? Now, this one is important. Financial preparation is also very, very important. So things like your business plan, your financial statements, sufficient funds to support yourself, your business venture, living expenses, all those things. And this comes to the fourth point I made, which is to understand the requirements of the whatever visa category you are going for. Like I said, I'm a product person. So once I see a problem, my head is thinking there should be a product that's taking care of this somewhere, right? And that's why I'm having this conversation, right? I have thought about this and I thought, if I wish somebody had something like this when I was trying to cross all the immigration hurdles, and which there was somebody that who had thought, hang on, there's a way to simplify this information that people can do an easy comparison between this visa, that visa category, and make a choice based on their own situation, and also create a system where they can get mentoring, they can get support from people who have been through the process in a very streamlined, affordable, easy way, right? And if they need an immigration consultant to support them, the system allows them to partner with one of the top immigration solicitors who can advise them and give them peace of mind when it comes to their. Why is nobody thinking about it? Why is everybody just thinking about, how some people are telling me they will charge 3,000, 5,000 pounds for somebody to review your application, and then what are they doing for you? Just looking at your application, and then you pay them 4,000 pounds. A lot of these things you can do yourself. It's just a matter of having the right information, understanding, and putting yourself into the work. Don't outsource. You don't outsource some of these things just because you think somebody said they have history of advising people at 5,000 pounds to get. They are not the Home Office, right? So I don't buy all of that. You get information that is valuable, that will set you on the right path. That's what we're talking about here, okay? And I think I've already covered this point. Invest in professional guidance. Exactly, that's the point I'm making, all right? Invest in professional guidance. Look for information and ideas and people who have been through what you are trying to do, and just let them guide you, right? Let them guide you. And then, of course, I've already talked about this as well. Stay updated because, as you know, there's going to be many changes, frequent changes to immigration policies and all that. So stay informed on policy changes, okay? Like I said, I have tried my best to flick through a lot of my slides. If I missed anything, please, the recording will be available on the internet. Now, I want to take questions. So if you have questions, post your questions in the chat. As I wrap up tonight, consider the whole ecosystem. How are you going to integrate this in the UK? I was speaking in, where was I speaking? Was it in Manchester the other day? I was talking about cultural intelligence or cultural awareness. It's important to understand how do you integrate into the United Kingdom ecosystem. For cultural nuances, things like living in the UK. Where are you going to be living? What would it cost to live there? How would your children, go to school? How would your family settle down? These things are super important. And of course, finally, it's important to be persistent and to be flexible. Be persistent and flexible. Don't say because this is what I think, or this is what somebody said. I see people say that a lot. Somebody came to me earlier and was asking, I understand the process. I just want to know how I can get a recommendation for my global talent visa. I said, okay, that's fine. That's a good place to be. You understand the process. I can't argue that with you. But the truth is, if I now book you into a mentoring session that you paid for, I don't know, and when you get to that session, you now ask questions like, oh, I need this, I've not done that, or I've not done this, I've not done that. I wouldn't want you to waste your money that way. It doesn't make sense to me. I would rather you take the course, get validation that you pass the assessment in the course. That is proof that you understand it, not you telling me that you understand the process. That's what I'm trying to say. Take it, go through the assessment in the roadmap training. Let us know that you've got the basic rudiments of what it takes to secure self-sponsorship or global talent. Then, within the program, then ask questions to say, on this particular point, I'm stuck. I don't know how to progress from here. Or I need somebody to guide me when it comes to this. Or where can I get more information when it comes to things like reference letters, recommendations, and all that type of stuff. That is what we're talking about, right? But if you get into if we jump the queue and we take you in, and they start talking to mentors and talking to our solicitors. I mean, it's a waste of, it potentially is a risk of wasting your time and wasting their time, because the things that we expect you to know, we want you to have known them, so that by the time you're talking to these people, it's a case of crossing your T's and dotting your I's, not talking about the rudiment and the basics that we expect you to already know. So if you're one of those people and you're online, that is the reason. And it's super important that that is very clear. We're not taking anybody into our mentorship or into our solicitors who have not been through the program. No, we're not doing that. Then there's a reason for that. I have to make sure that everybody is everybody's on point. So this is what I was talking about earlier. If you have questions, this is your time to ask. Let me go and check on Instagram. Oh, I can see some questions on Instagram. Okay, I'll come to your questions in a minute. Champagne, Power P, I will answer your question. 1 second. Let me quickly run through this. For those who have not seen this before, this is a roadmap that I shared with those people who want to go through, who are going through the UK Global Talent Visa to secure an endorsement. The first step is to start your success journey in the training program, in the roadmap course. Then you can decide to request access to a mentor, or you can say, you know what, I want to speak to a solicitor I want peace of mind. I want to have the confidence that this is going to work for me. Okay. And then you go ahead and apply for your endorsement in step 4. And once you secure your endorsement, you get your visa. There will be an equivalent, I don't have that yet, but there will be an equivalent roadmap for the self-sponsorship business immigration, which is basically going to be similar. But the difference being that instead of getting an endorsement, you get your skilled worker visa license, sponsorship license, basically, as a company, as a business owner. And then the business can sponsor you, and you can then go apply for your visa, basically, just the normal tier 2 process. Okay, so let's take questions and answers. So the question I have on Instagram here, let me read it. It says, I have a question. The self-sponsorship, if someone, sorry, I'm bringing my head, I'm reading on my phone, I'm on Instagram. So for those who are wondering, what am I looking at? Instagram comments don't come through here. So for those, if someone gets a self-sponsorship visa, are there restrictions like how the care visa is restricted? Okay. Let me try and rephrase your question so that I'm sure I understand it. When you say care visa, this is not the same thing as a care visa, but yeah, restrictions like, for example, if you have a business and you have secured a sponsorship license for your business, and the business has sponsored you, the expectation is that you'll be working for your business. Does that make sense? So you cannot now leave your business that sponsored you, that you have been sponsored by your own business, to now go to another business to say you want to go and work for that business. Then you're going to be breaking the law. Does that make sense? So I don't know whether that is the same thing as what you mean by the care visa restriction, but if that is it, I hope I answered your question. But if you look at it this way, the benefit of this is, if you have a business, genuinely, you have to do the genuine test for this. So if you have a business, genuinely do a business, and your business has sponsored you, you can go anywhere as your business. You are the business because you represent the business, and you can do any business with anybody anywhere because you are the business. I don't know if I'm making sense. So when you say restriction, really, if you look at it from that perspective, there's really no restriction. The only difference is you most like every of your deals or your transaction or your work that you're going to be doing, you'll be doing it from the perspective of your business, because that's where your business will be paying you a salary and all that type of stuff. Okay, so that's why it's important to come into the roadmap and learn and understand this, the way this works. The roadmap again is £129. It doesn't cost you much to get this knowledge, get this information, so you can make an informed decision. Okay, he said understood. Okay, thank you. And he put a clap. Okay, well done. Nice. So I answered the question correctly. Another question from let me see, I think from Lakitan Tiffany. Oh, sorry, apologies if I spelled your name, if I pronounced your name wrong. For the self-sponsorship route, what types of businesses are lucrative to do in the UK? Oh, this is an important point. In fact, I think this I wanted to cover some of this on in my slides tonight, but I thought no, it'll be too much because I'm already running against time. What type of businesses are lucrative to do in the UK? Also, how easy is it to get work coming in through the business? Okay, so let me make an attempt to answer that. To do business, I must tell you, you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. All right. So I would always tell people, don't approach business with a 9 to 5 mindset. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. So business requires a lot more than what you would put in for a job. Job. A job is whether you go, whether the company makes money or not. When you go and work, you clock in your time in the morning and you clock out in the evening. At the end of the week or at the end of the day or at the end of the month, you expect your salary, right? But imagine now you are the one that owns the business. It's a different ballgame entirely. Now, what you should be thinking about is very good question that you asked there, because if I want to go this route, then what kind of business or what type of businesses can I look into to set up that will ensure that I have business, I have cash flow, and I always have money? And there's a lot of them, honestly. There's a lot of them that you can delve into. And I think maybe in my next, sorry, my clock is telling me time. In my next session, I'll talk about those. I think I will expatiate on the business opportunities that are potentially possible. And please, for this person asking this question, let me show you. If you go to this link on my on the what's it called? You see a link scrolling at the bottom. Please go there. You will see the workshop that is happening next week for digital entrepreneurs and product managers. Register for the workshop because we're going to be talking some of this in that workshop, and then I'll bring it to my live in 2 weeks' time. Okay. So there are different types of businesses and the different type of sectors. You need to assess your own skills personally. What you need to assess your experience. What are your skills? What are your experiences? What are you able to do? Right? Doing business is not just about registering a company and just doing something that you probably don't enjoy, because even if you're bringing in money for the first week or month or year or whatever, you might not even be profitable. How do you sustain and how do you keep yourself going whilst you're in that cycle? So those are some of the things I want us to start discussing as we begin to look into this topic a lot more deeper. So thank you for that question, Tiffany. But yes, there are things you can do to make sure that your business is lucrative, especially with the power of the internet. There are a lot of digital offerings that you can provide that can get you off the ground very easily. And in terms of getting work coming through the business, it depends on what type of business again. If it's a business where you're self-employed, you're having to provide or sell your time, then you're limited by the amount of time that you have. But it's a business where you're maybe selling commodities or you're providing services or you're selling product, which is why it's important to think product. Where you're turning maybe your knowledge into product, or you're turning your ideas into product, or you have a physical product that you're selling, then you can enjoy benefits of scale or economies of scale. And that doesn't require you to, whether you put in 8 hours or put in 10 hours, you can sell, you can make so much money regardless of how many hours you put in. So those are the things that I want us to start discussing in reality. I hope that helps, Tiffany. So I think I'm not going to take any more questions. Let me just check if there are any more questions. Quick announcement. For those who are thinking about going into product management, or you're already a product manager, or you have a business already, but you don't have product management experience, I am super excited to announce to you, and I'll be talking about this a lot more, that we have now launched the Product Management Mastery Playbook. The Product Management Mastery Playbook is for anyone who is thinking about setting up a business, or you already have a business anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter. What we have done here is we have brought in different scenarios, and we want you to learn by simulation. You'll be practicing different scenarios from top global companies across all the skill sets in the product management lifecycle. And I brought all my knowledge and experience working with the Growth Academy team at Join Momentum to put this course together. We continue to upgrade and make it better and better. So if you go on to growthacademy.joinmomentum.co.uk, the link at the bottom that is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, visit that website, and you'll be able to see you'll be able to buy the Product Management Mastery Playbook. For those who are joining me, also from next week, I have Epic Growth Mentorship Program. So there's a workshop happening next April 11th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's called Epic Growth Mentorship for Product Managers and Digital Entrepreneurs. Live workshop, 2 hours with me, and I'll be sharing and breaking down my experience as a product manager and things that you need to know and things that you need to upskill yourself about as a product manager, or as an entrepreneur, as a business owner in this time and age. So I'll be talking about that. And then off the back of this, there's going to be a 4-week mentorship program for business owners, product managers, and digital entrepreneurs. 4-week mentorship program. You thought keep an eye out for the announcement. The 4-week mentorship program is only for people who have secured access into the Product Management Mastery Playbook. However, I am opening up the slot for 10 African ladies, 10 female African ladies who either are product managers, aspiring digital entrepreneurs, or business owners to apply. So the link is going to be live by the end of this week, so you can begin to put in your application. But I thought I would make that announcement tonight. That brings me to a close. Have a sip of my juice. Thank you for joining me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I said so many things, and I'm happy that I've been able to cover everything I wanted to cover. It's been fun talking to you. And before I come to you again in 2 weeks, be great and be epic. Have a good night, everybody. See you later.